Hello and welcome, Reds. Thank you very much for tuning in for our pre-match build-up show. Liverpool match day week 1. Liverpool facing the giants that are AC Milan. As you can see to my left, that's all the European trophies both sides have won between themselves. You know, some clubs haven't even got one European trophy to the name anyway, but what a historic night it will be at Anfield. Let me know your pre-match build-up thoughts, how you think Liverpool or AC Milan will approach this game. Anfield will be absolutely rocking to get ready for Champions League football this year. Let me know your thoughts on pre-selection as well. Who do you think will start the game? Will Canate get brought in to give Joel Matip a rest? Will we see Naby Keita play anyway? But I can't wait for this game, Reds. I'm excited. Both sides, obviously Liverpool, hopefully, as long as it doesn't finish 3-3, and it doesn't go to extra time and penalties like it has done in the past in a Istanbul game, as we already know. But yeah, both sides steeped in European royalty. AC Milan, not quite the side that I personally grew up watching. The great Maldinis, the Inzagis, the Kakas, the Seedorfs, the Nestas, the Beressis, the Cafus. There's so many great players that AC Milan used to have. They finished second in La Liga last year. Great young side. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Olivier Giroud just signed for them this season. He looking like he will be fit for the game this weekend anyway. So just in terms of statistics from last season, I know this was in Serie A, but Zlatan was their leading goal scorer in the league with 15 goals and 2 assists, joined by Kessie, the midfielder, who is a very big physical presence at the heart of that Milan side. He registered 13 goals and 4 assists in Serie A, and then followed by Rebic, the Croatian, scoring 11 goals, 4 assists for AC Milan, and then just slightly followed up by Theo Hernandez, the French left-back, who was surprisingly left out by Deschamps in the European selection anyway. So, yeah, he got 7 goals, 5 assists in Serie A. So, you've got a lot of big threats. Tonali at the heart with Kessie, Carabia, Tomori, the young lad who has just previously been at Chelsea. He is at the heart of AC Milan's defence. He's playing very well. Obviously, they just beat Lazio this weekend, AC Milan 2-0. So they're off to a flyer. Manigan, the French goalkeeper anyway, he settled in very well. And then Diaz, signed from Real Madrid, who used to play for Manchester City in the youth ranks anyway. Florenzi, the lad that used to play for Roma and PSG, but he didn't really have that desired impact. But he played right midfield for AC Milan in their 2-0 win at the weekend. Rafael Leao, a very pacey player, I think, especially if Liverpool do come up against him midweek. He's a player to keep an eye on. Will he play? It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Rebic led the line against Lazio at the weekend, but as we mentioned, Olivier Giroud, he has troubled Liverpool in the past, and you got the great Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I know he's quite old, but he's still very capable of damaging teams, especially in the top-level European game anyway. But let's get to all your comments. So, like, yes, Jack, going to be a tough game, I feel, very much is Mark. How is everyone doing? Not too bad. Zuki as well. Right, Reds, let me know your starting 11 for the game midweek. For me personally, I'm going to go with Alisson in goal. Right back, Trent. Canate, I feel possibly could he come in. I don't think Jurgen Klopp would tinker with it, but if he is, going to bring in a player for me. Canate played a lot of pre-season games. He's very experienced in the Champions League with RB Leipzig prior to him moving to Liverpool. So he's got to start getting his games. And for me, personally, as good as Joel Matip is playing, probably it would be mad to really drop him, but you've got to give Matip a bit of rest. And I don't think Canate will be out of place. He's used to this level of football, and whether that he plays alongside Van Dijk. But for me, I'd bring in Canate, Van Dijk, Robinson, left back for me personally. And then you're looking at the heart of Liverpool's midfield, especially an AC Milan side that are very high press, in your face. They score a lot of goals as well. The young side, will they be naive come when we do play them anyway? But for me, you've got to get that extra man in midfield. Milan tend to play a 4-2-3-1, especially last season and this season anyway. So to me personally, the midfield battle, like it was against Leeds, will be very pivotal, especially in European competitions. So Fabinho, for me personally, will play in the holding role, and Henderson has to come back in. I think that intensity, especially when you're playing against a player that Kessie is such a big physical presence, like we've seen in Europa League last season, caused them a lot of trouble, very much dictated the whole of the park anyway. And for me personally, I'd go with Thiago. You need that player, like he did against Leeds, to control the tempo. So Hendo, Fabinho. I know a lot of shouts. Let me know your thoughts. Would you play Naby? But for me, I think you need Thiago was so good at that at the weekend when he would controlling the game, dictating the tempo. But for me, I'd go with those three, and then go with the main three up front for me personally. It'd be interesting to see if Bobby's back in time, whether he recovers from injury, but I think it will be a bit too short notice for him. But fingers crossed. If he is fit, I could see Jurgen going with him. Big European game like he has been playing against when we've played the likes of PSGs in previous games, and obviously Atletico Madrid's. But I think for me personally, I go with Jota, Mane, and Salah up front anyway. But Chris has gone with his starting 11. He's gone with Alisson, Trent right back, Konate or Gomez, and then Van Dijk, Robinson, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Salah, Jota, and Mane. Absolutely spot on there, Chris. And everyone watching, if you're watching on the replay, let me know your thoughts. It's interesting. It's whether you want to tinker too much with the starting lineup. It's a very important game. We need to get 3 points on the board, really. Any news on Harvey? Mark, at the minute, it's not an official break of his ankle. It's looking like a dislocation of his ankle, and he will be having surgery today as well. He will be having surgery today, really, on that. So fingers crossed it's not too bad. Predictions. Chris has gone with prediction of a 2-0 against AC Milan. But obviously Mark is saying, how are you? And then Mark's gone with a 3-1 prediction. I expect Konate or Gomez in for Matip just as a rotation. Absolutely spot on there, Chris. It's very important that we do that. I know it's very early on in the season, but for me personally, I don't want to be running as much as we love Matip being fully fit, but you don't want to be putting too much strain on his legs, and we all know how Matip is. He's made out of plastic, really, or paper, really, would you say, anyway? But yeah, not too bad, boys. Really do appreciate it. And if you're watching this on the replay, let me know your thoughts, your starting 11, and obviously how you think the game will go. As I said, the battle in midfield will be very key. If Tonali does play Kessie, the Ivory Coast international anyway, we've already mentioned Kessie's goal threat in this AC Milan side that he will pose, and whether, obviously, Milan do traditionally, as we said before, a 4-2-3-1, but will it be Darude, Rebic, or Zlatan Ibrahimovic up front? But you've got the players to come off the bench. But I think if Liverpool do play our game, high intensity, get in their faces, don't allow them any space, it's completely different, the Italian League and the Premier League, the intensity. I don't think there's a team like Liverpool in the Serie A apart from Atalanta, but we've seen Atalanta come to Anfield last season and cause Liverpool problems. So yes, we've got to be cautious, but we've got to be confident. If we play our best game, I think we'll absolutely steamroll them. And I know I'm going to go with a high scoring fixture. I'm going to go with 5-0. I know it's a big prediction, no disrespect to AC Milan, but I think if we play to the best of our ability, I think we should have too much. Given the intensity, and if we can take our chances, if Mane buries a couple more chances and he's got his shooting boots on, I think it'll be not an easy game. There's no easy game in European competitions, as all of you already do know, but it's absolutely fantastic that we are seeing AC Milan back in Europe. As you can see, the trophy haul there from both sides. But Reds, been an absolute pleasure. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and we'll see you for a live stream watch along of Liverpool versus AC Milan. Let me know all your thoughts down below. And if you are new around here, whatever, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button and keep your bell notification on as well, so you always do get notified. And we'll see you for a live stream watch along of Liverpool AC Milan very soon. Ta-da, that's have a lovely rest of your day. Appreciate everyone tuning in as well. Absolute legends. Chris, Mark, Zuki, every single one of you, and everyone watching on the replay. Absolute legends. And I will see you very soon. Ta-da.